Hey, this is Matt for AVNation.tv. We are here in sunny San Diego for CEDIA 2017. We are in the Rayva booth. I'm here with Jeff. Jeff, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great.
Excellent.
Nice meeting you.
Good to meet you. Jeff, Rayva is fairly new on the scene.
Yes, we are.
Really new on the scene.
Yes,
We've
we
been
are.
out for a couple of months now. Well, don't let me tell the history. You tell the history.
Yeah, it really started with the concept that we wanted to create something that is turnkey, that's pre-engineered, that's predictable. So designers, installers, builders, they all know what the outcome's going to be.
Right.
For a designer, they know exactly how much they're going to make at the end of the job. It's not a science project.
Right.
Okay. So it's designed up front with that in mind, with the pre-selected materials, equipment, packages to fit the particular room.
Okay.
And then themes are chosen depending on the client's needs, and all put together in a simple installation that takes typically 2 to 3 days, less than 5 days to install.
Okay. All right, so if an integrator comes to you, or a designer or an architect coming to you, what do they need to be able to bring to you to get started and start this process?
Okay, they typically have a client that's interested in a home theater, and with that is a space in their home that can accommodate a home theater, something that's probably around 13 by 20 feet to start with. Then we will work with the builder to give them certain specifications. The first is it needs to be painted flat black.
Right.
Okay. Secondly, there's typically going to be a riser for a second seat of chairs, because your sight lines have to allow the front row and the back row to see the screen.
Of course.
And then we give the diagrams as far as how the wire is going to be run, back to the rack of the equipment, to the lighting that's above, maybe to the step lights that come along with the riser, that type of thing. So that's where we start.
Okay.
Okay. Then it goes on to a theme. What does this room need to look like?
Okay.
Okay. We have a number of templates that provide themes, anywhere from seascapes to cinema experience to sporting. It can be custom made if need be. And then we get into some higher end concepts too, with origami and different types of lighting that may consist of blown glass with lights behind them and that type of thing.
Okay. So from the homeowner, the end user perspective, how much design input do they get? How much flexibility do they have?
Their flexibility is really with the look of the room itself.
Okay.
The design and the engineering of the performance is all on us.
Okay.
We are going to make sure that this is optimized for that room, for the area of the volume that needs to be pushed of air in that room to make it sound correct.
Okay. So when you start looking at that side of it, the technical aspect of it, where do you make those deciding lines as far as what's going in? Is it based strictly on a budget point or on a performance basis?
Well, what we do is budget comes into play with it, obviously.
Really?
It always does.
Okay.
And then we're going to give the best system we can for the money.
Okay.
And a lot of that depends on the room size you have available to you, too.
Right.
It becomes a matter of physics at that point.
Okay, so for the dealer who's come to you, they've got their flat black room, they're ready to move forward. Are there any restrictions as far as you guys are designing this space? You're putting in and specifying specific speakers, specific amplifiers. Are there any issues if the dealer maybe doesn't have access to that line or that manufacturer? How do you work around that?
Well, what we have is typically in each discipline we have 3 or 4 choices.
Okay.
So there's 4 speaker choices, 4 projector choices, 4 electronics choices. And chances are, out of those choices, the dealers do carry one of those.
Okay.
If not, we are giving them access to product they typically would not have.
Gotcha. Okay, so even if they don't have the preferred speaker that you either are selecting or the client may have a preference to, you can help facilitate that.
Correct, correct.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So moving forward beyond that, once they do it and get it finished and installed, are they done?
Well, they're done in the aspect of, yes, physically they're done. Now it's testing the system, making sure that it's up to our standards.
Okay.
We'd like to certify it as a Rayva theater.
Right.
And obviously there needs to be some kind of support after the sale, just to make sure that that it is supported for 2 years is what we ask for.
Is that something that comes through Rayva, or is that something that comes through the integrator?
Well, that comes from the integrator. That's why we need the integrator always involved, and they need to carry that relationship on.
Of course, of course.
For eternity, basically, is what happens in most of these cases.
Very good. So for a dealer to get started with Rayva, what do they need to do?
Well, they need a job. That's nice. No, we actually had to sign up for Rayva. There's 3 criteria that they need to meet, or one of those 3 they need to meet. Bring us a job. Let us show you how easy it is to do a Rayva theater versus the typical process.
Right.
2 is create the experience. The experience of the experience is extremely important. Some place to go. So if they can give us a showroom, then what we'll do is we have a buyback program.
Okay.
So if they put in 5 theaters within 12 months, that showroom is paid for.
Understood.
So, thirdly would be, let's turn a system over.
Okay.
Maybe you were going to do a custom theater and give us a chance to put the Rave up against it. And if you do that, we need some skin in the game.
Of course,
so it's not much, but we're asking for something.
Very good.
Yeah.
All right, so to get more information on how to start this process and really the full breadth of your offerings, where can people find that information?
Just go to rayva.com. It's all there. Yes.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for your time.
All right. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
For more
Appreciate
video from the show floor, please visit AVNation.tv. That's AVNation.tv.